Hi everyone, it's Andrea over at Sewspire. I hope this video finds you well. Today I'm back with the second video in our month-long last-minute holiday gift series here at Sewspire. We will be sewing this darling wallet that's absolutely perfect for those of you who like to give gift cards or cash this holiday season. It has the snap flap closure, which doubles as a rear pocket, and then it has a zipper top there to keep the contents secure. The interior is fully lined and the exterior is lightly quilted. So this is really a lovely gift that keeps on giving all year long. So there is a complimentary supplemental PDF for this project. I will be making the PDFs for as many of these holiday projects as is practical. And if you are on my personal holiday e-list, I will grant you access to this holiday PDF collection. Okay, it's my gift to you, but you need to be on the e-list so I can deliver it to you. So please follow the link in the description to join my personal mailing list at AndreaMarieChapman.com. All right, so without further ado, let's get started sewing. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so for this project, you're going to need 4 panels that are 5 inches wide by 4 inches tall. 2 of those will be backed with fusible fleece and quilted, and then 2 of those will be unlined and they are the interior. Then you will also need 2 pieces of quilt weight cotton, which are 5 inches wide by 6.5 inches tall, and these will form the pocket on the rear of the exterior. You will need 2 1.5 inch squares of the quilt weight cotton, and those will form the zipper tabs. And then you will need a 5 inch or longer zipper that you can cut down and 1 snap set. So to begin, go ahead and fuse your fleece to the back of your exterior panels, and then you have the option of quilting if you like. I think that this really adds a lot of detail to this small piece. So I highly recommend that you take the time to quilt your exterior panels. It does not take as long as you think it might, and it certainly doesn't have to be perfect. So go ahead and take care of that. We are going to begin by attaching the zipper to this project. So we want to take our zipper and ensure that it is at least 5 inches long. I have a tiny bit of overhang on mine just so that I can ensure I capture that zipper in the seam, but I will be trimming that off in the end. So take your exterior panel, center your zipper on that so that you can get an idea of where to position these little 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch squares. I'd like for you to finger press in a center line on each of those, and then position that square right sides facing down on that zipper so that it will sit nice and even with that body panel. So you can see I have my zipper down here. The square is going to be positioned nice and even with that body panel. I see my center press line. This little tab here is centered on that zipper and right side facing down. I am going to stitch right down that center line that we pressed in. And then I'm going to push that fabric back and top stitch right across that folded edge. And now I can go ahead and trim up the excess that is overhanging past that zipper tab. I also have the option if I wanted to trim back that zipper further, but not the tab. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I know this end of the zipper is secure. Now I want to come back to my reference panel here, and I'm going to align up that right hand side that I've already attached the tab. I'm going to go ahead and pull back my zipper pull, get my second tab, position that so that the left hand edge is even with that exterior, and I'm going to bring the zipper teeth together as close as I can get them, and right sides facing down. I'm going to stitch right through the center of that zipper tab so I can create the same effect on the left hand side. And then I'll simply fold that tab back and top stitch right along that folded edge. And then it's the distance in between those tabs that will allow me to access the contents of the wallet. So again, I can fold back those tabs and go ahead and trim this up. And now I have a zipper with tabs that is exactly 5 inches long. So I can turn that right side facing down towards the top of my exterior panel. And I want to bump that up so that the zipper tape is flush with the top of the panel. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way across there. The zipper pull is facing down. You may have to stop in the center there, sink your needle, lift up your presser foot, and shimmy that zipper open so that you can clear that zipper head. And then when you turn that up, you should have a very nice look on one side with the zipper attached. Bring over your second panel. Position your zipper and panel right sides facing down on that. Align the zipper tape with the top edge of that second panel and stitch across there. So that's what it looks like on the front. I have my zipper nicely installed, and then that's what it looks like on the back. Now we want to bring over our interior panels. We're going to fold this exterior so that it's kind of laying flat with the right sides facing and we can see the whole zipper. We're going to take the lining and we're going to position that right on top so it's flush with that top edge, and you should be able to just pick this piece up, and you're only working with one side of the zipper and one interior, and you're going to stitch all the way across there. Your interior fabric will be right sides facing down. I mention that because I don't really have a wrong side. And then when you fold that back, the right side of your fabric for the lining should be facing up and the right side of the exterior facing up. Now we want to fold that again so that we have that top edge of the zipper up. We would take our remaining interior piece right sides facing down, position that on top, aligning the top edge of the lining with the top edge of the zipper, and stitch across there to attach that second lining to the remaining edge of the zipper tape. And now you should have 2 lining panels on one side, right sides facing, and 2 exterior panels on one side, right sides facing. I want you to pair up one interior lining with one exterior panel. Let that lay nice and flat. And then come across this top edge and top stitch to secure the lining to the exterior, just right along the zipper there. And then do the same thing on the opposite side. We're stitching through both the exterior and the lining. And now your front should look like this, and the reverse side should look something like this. You don't have to worry if your stitching isn't perfect on the reverse side. You will never ever see that, but it is nice to have straight stitching on the front. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pair back up our lining panels and our exterior panels. We're going to set that aside for a moment, and we are going to craft the little rear accent pocket and closure. This is crafted from the 2 pieces of material that are 5 by 6.5. One of those is backed with Pellon 808. That's a fusible interfacing that will add some stability to that. So take the one that is interfaced, fold that in half long ways, and line up those corners as best you can. Then using your mat and your ruler, you're going to measure up 2.5 inches, and then you're going to measure in from the fold at the top 1/2 inch. So I will put the bottom edge of my ruler at the 2.5 inch mark, and the top edge of my ruler at the 1/2 inch in from the fold here at the top of this. I'm going to cut right across there to trim off these 2 triangles, one from each side, and end up with a piece like this. So the bottom part will form the pocket. This top part will be the flap where a snap is installed. And I'm going to use this piece now as my template for the lining of this, and I will just line that up at the base there and the sides, and then go ahead and trim off the excess from that lining panel. And now both pattern pieces are right sides facing. I'm going to stitch from this first edge here on the left. I'm going to start right where that angle begins using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, pivot across the top, pivot and stitch back down until I reach right where that angle starts. And I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. I am not stitching the sides of this. Alright, so I've stitched up, across, and back down. Now I just want to ever so slightly clip away that extra fabric at those two tips at the top. Then I'm going to turn this piece right side out, head over to the iron, and give this a good press. You can use your chopstick to poke out the tip of this. Just do so gingerly. After you press, this is what your pocket and closure should look like. So now you want to top stitch along those finished edges using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And now I have my finished pocket and flap. So I want to decide which one of these exterior panels will become the rear of this and have the pocket on it. So since I think I installed this panel upside down because I think the rose would be melting downward, I'm going to go ahead and cover that. So I'm going to position that pocket with the base of one exterior panel aligned, and I want to go ahead and stitch using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance across the base of that pocket, just so I can hold that in place without any pins or clips. Okay, so now I can go ahead and once again pair up my lining panels and my exterior panels. You can see that this pocket is temporarily in my way. So I'm going to fold over the finished edges of that twice. It's really important that these raw edges of that pocket on the sides remain flush and intact with that exterior panel. So just fold that over twice on itself, and it's not so bulky that it won't lay nice. And then bring back over your exterior panel, line up those sides, get a pin or a clip in all those layers as soon as you can so that your pocket doesn't shift or go anywhere. And then your zipper should push down towards the lining. Before we go any further, go ahead and unzip your zipper some if you have already not done so. I like to put it about 3/4 of the way over so that I don't have to worry about that zipper pull. Okay, then align the lining panels, and those are less problematic because they don't have any pockets or interfacing. So now you have your exterior panels and pocket right sides facing, your lining right sides facing, your zipper is open. We're going to stitch using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance from the base of the lining over the zipper, down the exterior, pivot, back up the opposite side, and back stitch here at the end and the beginning. We're going to leave the base of the interior open to turn this. When you get to the zipper, go slow. Okay, so I've made it around all 3 sides. The base of my interior is still open. I want to go ahead and angle the corners at the base of the exterior and trim away some of the bulk from that exterior side seam as well. Okay, now I can reach in there and get the zipper open all the way, and then very carefully turn my project right side out. Poke out those corners. Oh, it's so cute. All right, now I want to go ahead, even though I still need to close up this lining temporarily, I'm going to go ahead and push the lining down inside the project and poke out these corners towards the top where the zipper tabs are, so that I can start to get a feel for where I should position my snap closure on this. It might be beneficial to give the whole project a nice press. Okay, so the front of this wallet is the quilted portion, and then along the back we have installed the pocket in the accent print, and this top portion here becomes the closure. And then there's a nice little pocket there that when this is closed, the contents of that pocket are secure. The flap closure also adds an additional layer of security to the zipper top closure. So the next step for us is to determine where we would like to position the snap for this. So I do like this to come nice and snug across the top of the zipper. So the placement of the snap on the flap closure here will be at center, a little less than 1/2 inch up. And I just position the decorative head on that front flap and then poke those prongs through with my nail. And the female portion of the snap will sit right on top of those prongs. And then using a little hammer, you can attach that. And then the male portion of that snap sits inside of there. And now we can use the remaining prongs to determine where to position the second half of the snap. So fold your flap back over, lift that slightly up, and take those remaining prongs down and pierce that exterior fabric at the point that you want that snap installed. Keep your eye on those little holes there. Reach inside and pull out that lining so that you can then reach inside with your prongs and poke those up through the area that you just pierced on the exterior. And then same thing, just poke those prongs up through only the exterior. And the reason for that is then the backside of those prongs, which it's not really sharp, but it's still metal, will not touch the contents of the wallet. So you can see perhaps my little prongs are poking up. I want to bring over the snap and let that rest right on top of those prongs, and then give this another whack with my hammer. I like to flip it over to the back side once I know it is secure and give a few more taps. And then check and make sure your snap is securely attached. And then you can go ahead and bring that lining back up. And take those raw edges and turn them in 1/4 inch. Pull them nice and taut so they're straight. Give them a press if necessary. And stitch across the lining there using a scant 1/8 of an inch seam allowance to close up the lining. And then before you tuck that lining down in there, hit it with the steam press so it's not all wrinkly. And then go ahead and tuck the lining inside. You now have a really nice fully lined wallet with a zipper top closure, a rear pocket that is fully lined, and then a flap closure over the top. I'd like to suggest that you craft one of these fun wallets from their favorite fabric or holiday themed fabric. Tuck your gift cards in the back pocket here. Put a little note inside the zipper pocket and maybe a little bonus cash. And tuck this inside of a gift box or someone's stocking to delight them. So I want to give you the finished measurements on this little guy. Finished, he comes in at 3 1/4 inches tall and 4 1/4 inches wide. The depth is about 1/4 inch. Super cute. And I think that this would be very popular for the ladies in your life. Although if you craft this from a masculine print, it could be very useful for a young man as well. I hope you're enjoying the holiday series. If you haven't had a chance yet, check out my tutorial for the Starling AirPods case. We made this yesterday. I am creating one playlist for the month of December for these last minute holiday gift ideas. Be sure to join my mailing list. This is my personal holiday mailing list. So there's a link for that down in the description, and I'll see you in the next segment. Thank you for sewing with me, everyone.